Malawi Brief.
Omvera lero Alexious Kamangira wauzaso mtundu wa Malawi nkhani zovuta kwambiri, nkhani zovuta kuzimvetsa kuti izi zimachitikadi. Inuyo tangokhala ndi pomwepo mumve kuti lero wabwera ndi zotani.
Kamangira wasowa, Kamangira wasowa, ali kuti, waja chibanzi. Inetu ndabwera. People mayankhula mulibe data. Ndemo aona amati ma social media influencers. Ato different corruption. Zoma mayankhula zimakhala zoduka mutu. Komabe ine ayankhule nankhatani. You know, akuteteza. Kukhala ma articles, kulembedwa manyuzi mulembedwa zinthu ndithu manyuzi. Zopeka, zambiri. They work all sorts of things. But you can ask anyone, any lawyer about me. You can ask any law student or chunk of people that were at the university when I was at the university. There's nothing new going on here. And then hakamane kuti mukupangira sanja akuti upangira bwanji sanja anthu munthu onena kuti is 30 years older than you. Munthu onena kuti is 15 years older than you. Munthu onena kuti he's 20 years older in the profession than you are. How can you be jealous with that person? You're not competing with that. You have your own path. But in any case, we all have different paths, you know. Anyway, a lot of people believe that the only way to make it is corruption. So that's why maybe they think everyone else wants to make it through corruption. Not our generation, not some of us. And obviously, not the people that will be running the government of Malawi after this. I don't know, Mama Chula Janimbava, Anandibea 200 million dito. Wakona kita 200 million bas. Wakona kita ama baza serious. Mwindi mwa yuda nangu berani 200 million. Yeah, I'm just trying, you know, to enlighten your pain. But 200 million, even hata kubera mu 20 million. I mean, even 2 million, even 500,000. Zimatengera muntu we utokauti, that's your livelihood, you know. So my condolences, my apologies. Please write the complaint to Malawi Law Society. Write me as well. Send me those things. When you send it to Malawi Law Society, send me. So go, you know, we'll get organized. I'll get organized. The problem is, Kuti, this is a self-initiative. Could be when Joe behind me. Could be one handalama kundipanga support because an handalama ndamini ambili amina ndalama ndamini drama za wapeza zumukuba. Even the banks that are benefiting from this work, they're not supporting me. This is a self-initiative. But what was supposed to happen is that I was supposed to have people supporting me, media people, you know, media experts. People that take video. Got the video in Madenga, like it's very amateurish, you know. I don't have, you know, like space. You didn't have like a studio, wika camera, buno. Ndine muntu oti ndinoda kasuka nditu, you know, kuti ndikhoza kuyankhulani, kumachezana nduenda ndikuzungulira and all that. But I don't have that capacity. Muntu ne ndibe ndalama zokuba zonena kuti ndigwirise ntchito. But we'll see, depending on how people will be advised. Because this is a people movement. This is your cause. Koma even mutandi siyandeka. Ngakali simufuna kukhala nane. Ine ndizi kuwabe kuti this is your cause. Ndipo tipanga push meeting kapangire push. Koma mukafuna kujoin. There are a lot of ways that will come up. You just have to sit down, create ways. There's a lot of ways. You know, it can't be only me. You think the information remain my guy. I can't know this information on my own. There are a lot of people that support this work to be substantial like this. When I talk about civic justice, it reminds me how one council, now honorable, Pajanto Capital Parliament, they become honorable right away. Honorable Sylvester James Ayuba. was the Malawi laws recommended that it should be disbarred from amene akuchotsedwa uloya wawo kwakuthesa uloya wawo pankhani imene anaweruza kuti anadya ndalama za client. Now I was one of the key people that, I spoke out against disbarring Sylvester Ayuba, and it's one of the things that got me into trouble. I was actually called to disciplinary for calling Malawi Law Society over its selective justice. What I'm driving at is that I demanded that the punishment was huge. It was like death penalty. You can't do that, especially for a young lawyer. Even if you find that they did what they did, you need to be fair. But largely, it was an issue to do with selective justice. So even mutata mpeza kuti ndolakwa kumangata ena akalakwa sakulangidwaso mmene wina akakulangidwa, so there can't be justice. So without equality, there cannot be justice. Without equal treatment of individuals, there can't be justice. So that was the driving force to whatever was going on. But as I speak right now, that case, there was an injunction and all that. There's no progress where that case is. George, the legal advisor of Malawi Law Society, the one who it seems all big kahunas from MCB are going to, Council George Kazipadige. Kazipadige messed up the practice in Zuzu. Anabanga ukambelembele uyu ndesi kuti soningachite kuti kuzembazemba before mafailo ake ndinawo chonchi. Anabanga ukambelembele wambiri kunzuzu ukambelembele umene amapanga ndi amadise justice of appeal, and amadise ndi nyasi zambiri kunzuzu, and all that. Ukambelembele utawachitika nkhani jafika pana ku high court, and then it goes to Supreme Court. Who sits in the Supreme Court? Amadise. Mungonina is implicated with the same person. This is how nonsensical our profession has become. And I think there's an injunction or something that Madise put there, but it's an interested party. So when you talk about professionalism and when you talk about bringing the profession into dispute, Malawi Law Society, what do you mean? Because you have enabled over the years, and this is not about Njovu, Council Njovu, who is the current president. It's about my president of Malawi Society, Osenasia. Where is the Chief Justice in all this? So now, ku judiciary, kuli bungwe, lama judicial officer, ethics and all that. Do you know who is heading the ethics, Janjan? Amadise. This is stupid. It's not just criminal, but it's stupid. Like our sense of doing things, like the way we do things, like uchimbala ngondo watu tima uchita kupanga pambala mbanda, like city, there's not hiding it anymore. People don't try to hide that at all. To look at with admiration, tili kulowa school jitina india antamidi maya ngana tila zatu uka kumegu janikuzawa una zimenezi kuchitika practice. You see good, and what to say anzeru. You find, you look good, I say anzeru to Antoine. They have just paid the judge, they have done this, they have done that. Where is the professional in the legal profession? Where is the professional in the legal profession? Or where is the professionalism in the legal profession? I keep asking that. I have been thinking a lot about Dr. Bakiri Muhoozi. Dr. Bakiri Muhoozi is a president that appointed Justice Chikopa, Lovemore Chikopa, as a judge. I think Bakiri Muhoozi anatira kwina, and I went at Pepesa Malawi. He has to, he should apologize to Malawians. The reason why I think Dr. Bakiri Muhoozi should apologize while he's alive is because and I say while he's alive, celebrating him, because I like Bakiri Muhoozi, no doubt. because he stopped executions. He's the first president to say death penalty so that's where me and Muzi, if my bodies, no one can take us, can tear us apart. But by the time that Dr. Bakiri Muzi was appointing Chikopa, he was a private legal practitioner. Stories has it, kuti anayata bandalama kulofim kwao. So Achikopa, I am lawyer. Anabandalama ndipo Malawi society kuwa fufuza kuti achose mu profession. Ayapeza kuti chani? Amuzi. Then the president anasa kukhala judge. Where was the law society at that time? So since then Chikopa has been raping Malawians. Chikopa to wakhala kuti gwirira Malawi. Mwankhazi. Zinthu zimene apanga justice love mu Chikopa. Pena ineyo makhala kuti ambuye kumwambako, why would you allow this person to hate this nation this way? He has destroyed this nation. And for what end? You can't understand. You can't get it. But what I'm telling you is the reality. It's the truth. You lawyers, you know more than me. My judicial officers, you know that Chikopa has been powerful. Kuyambira kale ali kunzuzu anasisokoneza kumene kuja hata choka kunde kunapita somo kunaiso akapanda kumene kukina kunazapita maka madise so anabibira kunzuzu konse. Like, people do not have a sense of justice and how justice should be working, how the court should work. Because of these individuals, they have messed up the country, and we still smile at them and we bow at them. What are you bowing to? Lawyers, where is the professional in the legal profession? Achikopa ku Supreme Court ndiye mfumu kaya. Chief Justice sanu nkakantu from our investigations. Amango abanga intakana hapo. Basi amango is just like a puppet. This Chief Justice has failed us. As Milo said, how many letters have you written the Chief Justice and he hasn't responded? Why hasn't he responded? And as Milo said, why have you continued? Why haven't you done something about these things? All these things as a nation. So the president is a lawyer. The vice president is a lawyer. Ziko lijadu pamedika kanika basi lawyer sasa president. So we want, as lawyers, we have to guard to ensure kuti Ababa, you have a vice president, you have a president who is a lawyer. All of them are lawyers. Basi, no lawyer should become president. Maybe we Jomo. Maybe we should get Jomo to become president next if APM fails to give us a direction. Maybe we need to try something new. I wanted today to also mention that kuchitika chaos ku Malawi Revenue Authority. I've got enough information. I've told you before, kuti Gangada and the criminal. He's a gangster. Nima daba kuti how does this person get into APM's books mpaka na kumpasa or minister. When Gangada was given a state president, minister of state, he did something. And he build timu yao. Anabanga announce Gangada kuzera munjira zao kuti APM wasanka Felix Tamblas kukala nsogoleli YMRA kukala a commissioner general YMRA. That was a sneaky move by Gangada, and I believe now I see why anamujosa minister kumjosa ku state for the number kuzitenga kuti in the president here. A number was thinking out is more powerful than the what? The vice president. He was taking himself more powerful than he pushed to have Felix Tamblas together with the Attorney General Ndi Kagugao because manziwa kunena kuti tizija bwino tizibanga nyonjo. And it is easy. I have information from my investigation that the Minister of Justice Manamveka was anadusidwa kumbuyo anangodaba announcement ikuchitika ndi minister actually anadaba from reporting kuti akuti Tamblas wasankhidwa kukhala chancha anthu ma congratulations then anthu tumagundika congrats well deserved pamene well deserved Tamblas kukhala commissioner general congrats wajani. Tamblas is a criminal. He is a criminal. And when you look at the agency, the financial janjan, the one being headed by Dr. Pidiminta, those guys should have records of Felix Tamblas receiving 2 billion from this guy from South Africa who came in and all that, who was answering money laundering charges. And I made defense in common. My lawyer told kesi ya mtu mmoja. Where is the professional in the professional or in the legal profession? The Felix Tamblas, the mutonena kuti from my investigation of the case ya money laundering, he is implicated. He can't explain why he received 2 billion into the account. You can't talk about legal services, 2 billion in the, like, there's no explanation to that. Mr. President, we shouldn't even waste time. You can't, sungatumize, ndalama zati timatolera through chan, kwemai. So mukutumiza muntu wa money laundering, somebody who is laundering money. Ine apita atu akapande nzani, kundifuta kumvesa. Kuvuta moyo. What is going on? Kabena muti khalili muti base kuti this is your thinking. Kulibe people that are capable ku DBB ko or even ku MCB muta kutenga. Tenga jamu ku UTM afana uganza bo heavy. Fine, at the end of the day you want to run the country. Kwa afford muta kutenga ko. Or katengeni ku church kumpingo. Kuli anthu oti amatha kuyendesa chuma kutolera mipingo ndi imaziwa kutolera bwino kwambiri. No, my point is, where is the professional in the legal profession? If the president is appointing a suspected money launderer, because even just being suspected to launder money, that's big, but there's evidence that he laundered money. I know Tamblas, Felix, he was financed, amapereka ndalama kuchipani. But it seems kuti kuza Malawi. If it's messed with kuza, zanu zimenezo. Ifeyo, we have to run that country. And boma ili tilamulira now. For this lamulira mene tukupangira. Ndipo APM kukuta moyo akumvetsera, ndipo ati mvetsera, and is going to listen and is going to act. Ina mene mamuzwira APM. This is why, in fact, APM has been like, that's why I have good confidence. As a panoma, nindika confidence in the pangon. Tifuga, menezina endera za offer ya my business, 5 billion that was going to Gangada's companies. They reversed that, kina kunto some minutes. Kukutamoyo, I think he had, this is what's going on. He acted. So, Mr. President, don't njoka saweta ku action imwe munapanga kwajo sa a minister of state kuzaponya ukena kupano mwaponya ku sports mwakanga njoka ija mango imenya ku mutu o mango idula ku mchira indulu kwambiri ndekuti ku sports kosi kukhala chaos koma inene case nkuluja ndo chenjera kwambiri zinthu zikuchitika as we speak. But beyond that, why are you still keeping Felix Tamblas when you were basically munaikida pakona, as it were, ndi minapompo? But the appointment of Felix Tamblas itself is illegal. Where is the profession in the legal profession? When you look at the law, it is the board that is supposed to appoint the commissioner general, but SPC it seems to be the one calling the shots. Ndikateo, so ndichonji, kateo ija. Tikukamba za finance bank, chifukwa anthu sanasatire malamulo. Ndiye mukubwerisaso MIA Commissioner General mophwanya malamulo. Ndiye muzina kuti mumayikonda dziko. Hey, we want to fix things. Which things are you fixing? I want to. So, if it foka, mwina kuyankhula tamayankhula panopa mofoka chonchi, koma ma voice imene muimva ikukwera pang'ono. Felix Tamblas, if he continues to be the Commissioner General. No, Mr. President, this is your country to run, and you have a choice to choose whoever, but not criminals or suspected criminals or people that have got proven instances of being engaged or engaging in corruption. It means also that you don't have a choice to choose people without integrity. The choice, the powers to appoint, under the Constitution, is limited to people with integrity, people that are not being investigated, unless if they're investigated and they're cleared. Kuma muntu akuyankhabe milandu, even Gangata akuyankhabe milandu ali ku court. You can't appoint muntu nayo. You have to wait kuti mpange clear. No matter how ridiculous. And the Kumbo Soko anayankhula pa page pake. And I want to respond this directly because Kumbo is an intelligent guy. Everyone can see that. Kumano, the system captures the best amongst us together with the worst amongst us. And the things go on. Kumba analemba unena kuti, and kama kuna mizina milandu, people can lie about you, can lie, kungo kumanga, ntamangu kumanga, nkhani zosazika. That is true. But as long as you are answering a criminal charge or you are on trial, the appointing authority cannot appoint that person, cannot appoint you in a public office. No. Where is your brain, Kumbo, when you make that statement? What is happening to you? When you're posting that, when you're writing, because that's not you. You are sharp, my friend. I know you. What's going on? Where is the profession in the legal profession? You see, we have allowed this situation to be where it is. We are going to unpack it ourselves and we're going to end this. Issue is Siita. Felix Tamblas was illegally appointed. Wafika kumene kuja, wayamba jinambala. He has started changing things. You see what? Journalists, you need to stop being paid to write stories. Because that is paid journalism, guy. Sawa kuzwanda nuda jina Tamblas, anjina Felix anakupa ndalama. Kuti mulembe kunena kuti apanga overpay, atikutolera kupose. Go and do investigation with MRA. My records are many people. In the month of October, MRA collected $1 trillion. Chan material, 1 trillion, whatever it is. But they basically did beat their what is this? Their target by 80 billion. Go find out. And it was under the former Commissioner General Dan Dark. And my investigation, and to like my junior officers that are still there at MRA, I understand that you Munancho Samaji Bongwe Dan Dark. And the shenanigans that led to DBB to leave, you are doing them first week, second week, as soon as Mabweda Mbawa, pale antuamina ninja zao, amina ninquiz zao, they are doing crazy things, including Felix Tamblas, who brought Nyamara's Gwanji, Kwemae, kuti Dan agangokana, because there was no letter when he was going there to remove Dan Daka from the office. There was no letter of appointment. The letter of appointment came 2 weeks and came from a wrong authority. So we have an illegal Commissioner General. What kind of chaos is this now? Like, and our media, nothing. But critically, ineyo ngati lawyer, if I'm appointed wrongly, ngati ndasankhidwa mophwanya malamulo, it's my power and it's my duty and it's my professional obligation kukana appointment imeneyo. The fact that Ambulance actually did not anavomera, it's a ground enough to call him to disciplinary because he's bringing the profession into disrepute. But beyond that, Pangalives decision that were done before they were there. They are sending people. Just find out. They are sending people kunyumba and holding out they are professionals. When we change government, it's not time to punish. It's not our time to eat. It's not your time to eat and had DBP. Zausiwai, zopusai, and my legal practitioners, my payments anu, I told the journal imamba kupeleka ndalama zam kwa pay my payouts kwa lawyers are aligned to the regime. In a tabo nyinenda, they were doing that. They have done that. You can do it. That's why I said Parliament needs to look into this issue of the office of the Attorney General. Not just about data. Kuma general. Ndama zatu zikumapangida banji. Boma likabela anyuan. Legal profession, my office, zikumakaman, even seeking legal, giving business, government, he starts giving business only to my lawyers ajipani jao. Or amina maatenga kudinda ajipani jao. Where is the profession in the legal profession? You're basically, we are ashamed. We are ashamed to the world, to Malawi, to ourselves, to our wives, to our husbands, to our children. Wake up. The public, you need to wake up and shake in this system. So it's not just the corruption that happens in the private sector, in the private sector and like the private legal practice, but also the corruption that happens within the systems. Even my lawyer, Minister of Justice, you find other lawyers that are partisan, that are political. That should never be. Where is the profession in the legal profession? I need to conclude this live. I need to end this live. Though I'm enjoying it, but I don't have the energy anymore. I've lost a lot of energy. I wanted to conclude by raising alarm in relation to Malawi Law Society. It's no more time to do business as usual. Malawi Law Society has to rise up to its occasion, or else it takes a bunga Malawi Law Society. We should not be an institution that is saying we have a duty to do this, we are guided just by giving my statements and just looking like we are doing something about it. We need to take serious actions. If we have a proper Malawi Law Society. Because we don't have a proper Malawi Law Society. We have been tatandizira kuti dziko liwonongeke ndezikuyenera zithe zimene zozo. Mafuna ndipange conclude ndikungo fotokoza nkhani yonena kuti there was a time because anthu amanena kuti anthu amene sakuziwa zimene zimachitika pa dziko komanso Malawi komanso legal professional and judicial. Unayamba kulongolola kalekale. Zomwe umapanga umayamba nkhani umapanga nkhani umasiya. Okay, what you must know to those that are down and to those that are part of the corruption and they are doing this deliberately to bring the noise, to distract us. There's been a lot of progress in this, but it's just that it's not enough and the problem is too much. There was a time that I used to post about Tifoni Mpinganjira, za diplomat kuti samapereka nsongo magali murawo. And I'm glad that I've seen some MPs watching this live. The corruption, yaku diplomat involved members of parliament. At Trifonia Kamangira, Suzera Mukampani yao, amalowesa magari moto in the name of my MP. Sina nkaiwa jan sari bila nsonko du umatipweteka ndi Malawi wamba. Malawi amenali kumudzi. Malawi amene akulimbikira even in town akukwera basi. Pano pa fuel, do you know how much fuel is per liter Malawi? 5,000. People, and you have stepped your foot on the neck of people. They can't breathe. And you steal money. So ajina Trifonia amalowesa magari moto in the country through my MP. And anagwira. Ndipo nkhani yosina apitirire chifukwa chenazo kuti anagwizana kuti apereka ndrama. Ndipo anapereka ndrama zambirimbiri ku Malawi society. Nthawi imene ife taipepesa nkhani kumakuwuzani mukuti ayi mukunchitira sanje Trifonia ndikampangire sanje Trifonia tikuziwana Trifonia. I've never even met Trifonia. Nthawi imeneyo pa Facebook timanena na kuti neighbor zingopereka tax. Ndipo I don't know whether it was Dr. Ndanda talk we are in the restaurant yake. Mapanga surprise. Mapanga kongo maimba maberu mapanga surprise. Mbayo wake they because I don't know their names. But ankampanga defend Trifonia kwambiri. That's part of why corruption doesn't end, or why it's difficult to fight corruption, or why people make it hard to fight corruption. It's because the primary classes aren't. I mean, they will protect the interest. So I figured out those guys amabanga supply zizagumunda ku eka and all that. But whatever I said about Trifonia, it was true. If you go Lagos go MRI ngati mwina sazisowesa ku Felix Tamblas na Trifonia and their company anapereka misonko mwambuyo. So my MP, so parliament is part of the corruption, huge corruption. Amalowesa magali moto maina ao magali moto amakhala agulira anthu ena. Thereby the country is losing forex. Mr. President, this should also be investigated, and all the MPs for and the list ya ma MP amini anatenga ngongo anakatenga ndalama kwa Trifonia in the company. So and ho andalama kale they don't need more, they are stealing your misonko yanu, you know. And when you think about the fact that Mr. Kamangira anapezidwa olakwa pamulandu ofuna kupanga bribe majaji ndipo anapangira convict kina anapakisidwa bail yosaziwika bwino, and then you find kunena kuti majaji aja amene anapereka mabelo ndakapanda kena mina chakwera anazapanga appoint temporary judges of the high court kuti akhale supreme kuti kwani fana manamiza kuti Supreme Court is not properly constituted. Atazasankha kuti majaji ajana akwana apange sit on the matter. Palaso a document pa file ya Kamangira atombera mwakumbukira mmayi wa amatsanga atufula ya Malawi odi ndije ka inthochi mphamvu zandithera mmayi wa mashango enako ampingalizacho wapeza kuti ngani chango zizira chakwera choka pampando tinamva kuti chakwera anapanga pado na Kamangira. Where is Malawi law society? Where is the profession in the legal profession? Zimene zachitika za Kamangira, you are destroying the judges that put their heads on the real way. Majaji amene anayika mitu yawo panjanji ndukayima unena kuti awadi ankatifusa za ndalama kuti talandira kodi. What do you think about the Gabriel judge amene anampeza Kamangira, one of the, if not the richest person in Malawi, kuti munthu indolakwa ndipo amangidwe. How does Gabriel feel? If I was Gabriel, I don't think I would have energy to go to work, because Mpinganjira has got influence. And who's anatenga kumpira kuja walipira anthu ambiri wapereka zindalama zambiri. But this guy, when I got 7 cents, so if you have a justice system that Mpinganjira can walk away, Mino Bangira walk away, and no one talks, no one says a thing. Where? So, and then, what I find very problematic more is that the director of public prosecutions, who is a brilliant criminal lawyer, without doubt, no one can cheat you. The current director of public prosecutions, but he was a lawyer one Mpinganjira guy. So the cobweb corruption is that difficult, because how does then, where is the profession in the legal profession?